Now, breaking news from NBC4.
If you are just joining us, we've been following breaking news for you all afternoon tonight. In the Hilltop, a gas leak exploded near a Nationwide Children's Primary Care Center. A Domino pizza shop destroyed, Buckeye Ranch damaged. This is a live look from Chopper 4 showing the Domino's restaurant completely leveled. The flames diminished just about 20 minutes ago. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for staying with us this afternoon. On NBC4 News at 5, I'm Colleen Marshall.
And I'm Mike Jackson. That fire burned for several hours. Several businesses and homes in the area, they were forced to be evacuated. This all happening West Broad Street, Hilltop area. Right now, Broad Street, it is closed between Hague Avenue and Benz Boulevard, while the crews there work to contain the flames and also check for any structural damage around that area. And
tonight, NBC4 has live team coverage as we've had all afternoon. Mark Taylor is talking to witnesses about what they saw and heard in that area. Olivia Fecto will be talking to others who have been told to shelter in place and don't have power still tonight. Katie Farrell is with firefighters who were digging in that area, working to shut off the gas leak. But first, let's go back to Ted Hart with the latest on what we're learning about how all this happened. Ted?
Well, Colleen, and let's be clear, while it's a lot safer now than it was, let's not say that it's all clear at this point, because as you pointed out earlier, there's an awful lot of natural gas that was spilled from that underground leak, from that high pressure line, and that gas is looking for a place to go and probably still needs to vent from some of the buildings nearby. Where this all started. If you look down Broad Street, just within the last few minutes, a number of the fire trucks have pulled away. So obviously this situation is improving rapidly. Earlier, we talked to Battalion Chief Steve Martin of the Columbus Fire Department about how all this got started.
Because of the gas leak initially, everything in the area had been evacuated. So at the time of the explosion, everybody was away from the building. We did have one minor injury, but that was due because the person running away from the area tripped, and so it was not directly related.
Here. So that was Chief Martin talking about how this all got started. A construction company drilling underneath Broad Street, hitting a high-pressure gas line. Folks in Domino's and other buildings nearby smelled it pretty quickly, and as we've said, everyone got out safely, which is pretty remarkable given the amount of destruction that you see out here. For more on this, let's go to Katie Farrell. Katie?
Hey, Ted. Yeah, we are here on the south side of the fire. We have a different vantage point to show you. Here behind me, you can see the fire crew still pouring a ton of water onto what's left of this building. We just spoke with a police officer here. I just spoke with a police officer that's kind of shut down the streets in and around the area, shut down some of the neighborhood streets. He tells me that the big concern now is, as you kind of alluded to, Ted, that they're concerned that the building, that what's left of it, may be filled with gas. He said that firefighters were trying to get around it, open up doors, break windows to try to make sure that that gas could escape. And he also warned myself and my photographer here to stay away from the manhole covers, concerns that the gas could be running underneath the streets here and the sidewalks, and that they just wanted to ensure that those would not blow at some unexpected point. So just minutes ago, firefighters confirmed they were able to turn off the gas from both sides. They were working to shut it off from the east and the west side, so that is great news. Now they're just trying to ensure that they can air out that building, and then we will be much more in the clear. Live in Columbus, Katie Farrell, back to you, Mike. Colleen.
All right, thanks so much, Katie, for that update from that new vantage point for us.
Let's join Mark Taylor, who is live at that location with more information. Mark? Mark? Go ahead, Mark.
We are on the north side of where this natural gas explosion happened not long ago on Powell and Gray Street. Want to take a look just how close we are, just about 1 block away from where it happened. And although Columbus Fire say they do have things under control, Columbus Police came through here not long ago warning people to stay inside their homes, also warning them that if they do smell gas to call 911 right away. Now, we did talk to several witnesses who saw or heard this explosion earlier this afternoon. afternoon, and they say it sounded like a bomb went off.
Alrighty, Mark, hopefully we'll get with you a little bit later and get more information, but here's what we can tell you right now. Officials tell us a crew was drilling underground in the parking lot near that Domino's, and they hit a high-pressure gas line. That gas leaked into that Domino's. The ovens inside ignited the gas. Everyone got out before the explosion. We're told 4 minutes before the explosion. Buildings and homes within 2 blocks of the explosion have been evacuated, or the people inside have been told to shelter into place. Broad Street, we can tell you, it is closed between Hague Avenue and Benz Boulevard. That's awfully important during the rush, and no serious injuries have been reported.
We're going to go now to Olivia Fecto. Olivia has been out in the neighborhood touching base with some of the people who live nearby and were rocked by this blast this afternoon. Olivia?
Yeah, Colleen, my Columbus police here on the scene are still asking people in this 1 or 2 block radius around the explosion to still shelter in place or evacuate from their homes right now. A few of these people who are out here, who we just spoke to, said they are without power. They are among about 2,400 customers without power in this area right now, according to AEP. Battalion Chief Steve Martin said earlier they did have an evacuation distance of about 1 block in every direction of this explosion. People within this radius were asked to either shelter in place in their homes or leave to go to evacuation points, but they said if they are outside, they ask people to stay away from the scene. Of course, there are a few people lingering in this area who are people who live in this 1 block radius. A Columbus police officer we talked to just a few minutes ago says they are waiting to let people know when it is completely safe to go back in their homes. So at this point, the evacuation and shelter in place order is still in place. We want to go now to Courtney Yoon, who is live standing by. Courtney.
Hi, Olivia. Yes, we're here on the other side of where you're located at. We're at Benz Boulevard in West Broad. I'm talking with Curtis here, who is displaced right now because of all this fire. Curtis, tell us what happened today.
I got home shortly around about 1 o'clock, and then I let my dogs out and then let them back in. And I heard what sounded like a tree falling on my house, but it was actually an explosion. And they were evacuating the building. We're actually right by the building that blew up. So
you live right behind that building
Yeah.
there. So what did fire officials tell you? Did they tell you how to leave right away?
Not right away. They said it was kind of up to me at first, and then I asked about the condition, and they said that, you know, he really didn't have a clue, like as far as if they had it under control or not. And then about 15 minutes later, I sat back down in my house, and the power went off, and then another 10 minutes after that, they came knocking on my door and said had to get everybody out.
So now you're kind of homeless in a way.
In a way, yeah.
Been displaced for a few hours now. Do you know what's next for you?
I don't actually, so just have to sit and wait it out, and hopefully I got it under control.
You have some animals with you too.
Yeah, this is a little one. This is Rocco, but there's 2 other big ones that I got to take care of, so I was kind of hectic when they told me to evacuate.
Well, Curtis, we hope you stay warm tonight and that you find some place to go. You've got a car right now that you're staying warm in.
Yep. So
Thank you for speaking with us today,
Thank you.
Curtis. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Take care. And we've also seen here in this area, a lot of the emergency vehicles have left this area. We still see 1 ladder truck up there. Looks like they've stopped pouring water on it, but just a few minutes ago, maybe 5-10 minutes ago, we saw them pulling out a lot of the trucks here. Back to you in the studio, Mike and Colleen.
All right.
Thanks so much, Courtney. Of course, no serious injuries, but as we can see, a lot of people impacted by the events this afternoon.
Yeah, and it is calming down now, as Courtney said, but we want to give you an idea of what this was like for several hours this afternoon. Take a look at the video from earlier this afternoon. At this point, that high-pressure gas line had broken apart. It had caused the explosion inside the Domino's, and all of those flames that you're seeing there in these pictures were coming from leaking natural gas, and no matter how much water they put on it, they couldn't bring those flames under control. They tried for hours, Mike, to try to get the flames controlled by shutting off the valves, shutting off the source.
They finally did that, Colleen, on the east side and the west side of that location, which cut off the source. But of course, the danger is not over, as firefighters have now entered that facility, checking the structural integrity of the building. And as we talked about before, pockets of gas could still be forming in buildings in that strip mall as well. Of course, we have a lot more on this as well as on our webpage at NBC4i.com with continuing coverage. We hope that you'll join our webpage for that as well.
And we'll be right back with more.